Hello all, we are here for one more lesson of this AutoCAD 2016 training course, and this lesson is called Create and Use a Block, and I will explain you how to use this new type of entity, again call it block. So the idea of a block is something, one entity or a group of entities which the user wants to insert and to use inside a drawing, and he wants to insert this group or this entity several times. So instead of drawing each time he needs, he can call and insert wherever he wants inside the drawing, with much less work comparing with drawing always the same group of entities. So to show you how to deal with this, I will make a very simple example. I will draw a couple of lines to simulate a group of entities. I'm not caring much of what I'm drawing, okay, just a quick example. So something like this. No care about what is being here, what is here, just to be followed as example. So the first step using blocks is create a block. And to create a block, we need to go to the Home tab, okay, Home, then Block Panel, so Block, and inside Block Panel we have a function called Create, okay, here. And the Create can be called also if you type B and do the enter. Okay, it's the exact same result regarding the block. So it will open this dialog box called block definition. I will go here and you see that it's the exact same block. So I need to fulfill this information to finish the creation of my block. I will make this and call it example. Then I need to check this box to avoid missing some information in this column, then this column, and then in this column. So first, base point. This is something that is common to all these three items: base point, objects, or behavior. Sorry, the behavior not, but base point and the objects, to specify on screen. And if I have it with this inside the small square, instead of specifying the base point in this dialog box, it will be specified on the screen. I would not say that is better or worse, it's just something that the user should understand and see what is better for each case. So the base point is the point from my drawing where the program will consider as insertion point, and you will understand after I finish to create the block. So I will leave in this case the specify on screen. Then regarding the objects, again I can specify on screen or select them here. I will do this different so that you can see the difference. If I take this sign out, then this option is turn it on, and if I click there, select objects, I will say okay, my objects are this, and then enter to select the objects. When I do this selection, I have a couple of options here which are the retain, the convert to block, or delete. By default, I have this convert to blocked, and the immediate result is that this is grouped, okay? Instead of having here isolated entities, now I have a group of entities, and in fact it is a block inside my drawing. It's not the block I'm creating, it's just a grouped a group of objects that in fact it was converted also to a block. If I choose this option retain, then nothing will happen to the objects. And if I choose the delete after I select my objects and do the creation of the block, the objects will be deleted. So again, it's a choice of the user. Below I can insert a description and say this is an example, sorry for the mistake, for the AutoCAD course, whatever you want. On this column here regarding the behavior, I have several things, and the first one is this, annotative. And the annotative, when it's turned on, is regarding the scale for blocks. And in this case, AutoCAD can adjust the size of the block to the appropriate scale for each viewport. Okay, these are some concepts that we still did not see in this course, so I will leave this for the next lessons. Just to note that if I put the sign here, I get this option available and the scale out. So I will take this out, I don't care about it. And I want to talk about this scale uniformly. This is because when I insert the block, and we will see after, I can do the scale as a scale factor, and I can choose from two options, or do a uniform scale like this, or insert a value, a different value for each X available in my program. Okay, again, I'm not sure what is better or worse, but usually scale uniformly. Another option that I want to turn on is the allow exploding. Okay, I will make this, and then I will come here again, do another block, and to see the difference. If I say do not allow exploding, then after I insert the block, I cannot explode it. Okay. Besides, I have the blocks units, okay, millimeters, and a couple of more units, and this is something about a hyperlink that we can associate to the block. Not very important now. One more option also to open as a possibility to open the block on a block editor. This is something that we will see in a couple of lessons also. So now if I do the OK, please remember that the base point it's not defined, and I said specify on screen. So OK, and before everything is complete, you see block specify insertion base point. So I would say I want this guy here. Okay, and now enter, and it is done. Okay, so the block is created, and everything is prepared if I need to insert my entities in my screen. Now the complement of this command is I have one block, 10 blocks, 100 blocks, whatever I want, and I need to insert the blocks. So To insert the blocks now, I go to my my panel again, my block panel, the insert block command, and the insert block. You see, I have something that shows me which blocks I have available. So if I want this block here, example, now you see the base point is the place where I have the block stuck, and I have options. Okay, I can move my base point, so B, and I say no, my base point will be here. I can change my scale. If I do the yes, it specify scale factor for XYZ. Okay, it will be a uniform scale, so 1, and I can rotate and say R, for example. Okay, 45 degrees rotated. Okay, when I'm satisfied with the options, click and it's inserted. Let us see the topic of the explode. Okay, you remember that I have a command called explode inside my modify panel. Okay, I can invoke also this option if I say explode in my command line, explode, and you see explode, it allows me to explode, and enter, and you see now that I have individual objects. I will create now a new block and modify a couple of options so that you can see some difference in this definition. A little more fast now. The create, I will say example 1. I will leave this. Now I take this out and the objects. Okay. I said, and the other convert to block, I will say retain now, and the OK, my base point. Okay, it is defined. And now insert, you see 2 insertion options. Now example 1, and just put it here. If I call the explode now, here it is everything separated, and here you see 1 could not be exploded because I leave the option there to not allow the exploding after insertion. I have something else, which is also the possibility to use an existing drawing as block, which is another functionality, because if you understand this concept of the blocks, you see that I can use only my blocks. I'm using only has something inside my drawing. When I save my drawing, it is a definition that will be on the file. But I can use these blocks to be something outside my file, and for that I can I will show you in our next lesson, but I can use a drawing as a block, and for that I can come to this insert, more options, and I can call any drawing to be inserted also. basically the definitions I need to insert are the same. So specify on screen for the insertion point, the scale or rotation, or specify them in this dialog box, and the option also to explode when the insertion is done. Okay, it's the exact same way to work with this, with the only difference that a drawing can be a block inserted in our file. So it's the exact same thing. I will not repeat this procedure because I don't think it's needed. In this case, I will just insert my last block. It was defined, and I will insert them as an example. So I hope this lesson and this explanation was clear enough for you regarding this creation and use of blocks. In our next lesson, we will see the outside blocks, these blocks that we use from drawings, and how to modify the blocks and the different possibilities we have in AutoCAD.